All right. Hello, this is my presentation one for organizational behavior um, for Dr. Ortiz's class, and I'm doing my presentation on Mary Parker Follett's Giving of Orders. I'd like to explain a little brief history about myself. My name is Jared Aragon. I'm a senior at New Mexico Highlands University and an expected graduate of the class of May 2016. I'm originally from Las Vegas, New Mexico, and a graduate from Robertson High School. I participated in track and field there and was running the 400 and 400 relay, which I wasn't very good at. Never won any medals or anything, but during this time I was also working for a local company named Franken Oil for several years until I started college. My continuing education, I went to Luna Community College for a brief period and received an associate's in business administration and accounting. An associate's doesn't do much in business field of study, but I figured it was a piece of paper. Maybe it would come in handy. I have been an ongoing student at NMHU for several years and have been active around the campus during this time. For instance, I was at work study at Central Receiving for 2 years, where we did all the shipping and receiving from the university. I participated in the Asian Club, where there was a diverse group of people from Asian countries, and that was pretty cool to interact with them and get to know them. And some of them are very successful. In fact, one of them's in Singapore working right now, and he's a graduate from Highlands. I did a practicum at the athletic department, and I'm currently an intern at the accounts payable office. My future endeavors include planning on attending my education and continuing at the Anderson School of Management at the University of New Mexico. Here I plan on pursuing a degree in operations management and gaining an MBA. On to the article. Mary Parker Follett and her history first. Mary Parker Follett was a social worker and a founder of organizational theory and behavior. She defined management as being the art of getting things through others. I found this kind of interesting and a good way to put it. She was a philosopher in organizational behavior, and she had a way with words on how to explain it very well. She wrote several articles on management and ethics in management. Those are really good if you want to go check them out. Just Google her name. There's tons of articles about her, and she has some good information on how to be an effective manager. And she founded Follett's 4 principles of coordination, which were continuity, early stage, reciprocal relations, and direct contact. These are all things that kind of come into play with this article, which we will get to right now. The giving of orders. This article gives a sense of changing the way we view orders, not only for the person receiving them, but also for the person giving them. She explained in several scenarios about the way people react, and she speaks of the psychological aspects on how we need to change habit patterns in order to communicate effectively. One example was a worker son who grew up thinking that you needed to come home and gripe about your boss because that's what he saw his parent doing all the time when he'd come home from work. That is an example of a habit pattern that she explains that we need to change. She also explains how would a surgeon effectively communicate to a medical student, and this is along the principles of communicating effectively. She says, "You shall not use a single implement in a single way until you know which one to use. We tell you which one to use, and after you have learned to implement it our way and see defects, then invent new ways. Just do not invent things we discarded years ago." A little background about this, she's talking about a surgeon and how he would explain to his medical students how to perform surgery. And it went on in detail about showing them how to use a bone saw to cut off somebody's bone rather than a hatchet or an axe. And she was explaining to the medical students how medical students would perceive and grow the their the science of medicine and ways to effectively or efficiently do things after you learn the way that's best done before that. And that's basically the summary of the giving of orders and how we need to view things. The summary and the moral is every person should start our way in order to find a better way, and if we find a better way, we should embrace it. So this goes along the lines of any field of study in business. If you're doing something that might be productive, you might want to try the organizational first instead of being like the rebel or somebody, and try communicating your ideas. Dr. Geegan explains this in her classes a lot. Is if you're building a model in her scientific management class, if you're building a model, build it one way and then build it the way you would think, just to well, show somebody your opinion, and they'll probably trust you if you're right after a while. But always do things the way they want it done first. And there's a great quote here: most of our progress comes from our workmen, but it comes in a legitimate way. And she was talking about if you're a manager or a leader, the people below you, a lot of our progress comes from them, and you can't exclude them and just give orders and demands, basically. So it involves communicating effectively and explaining things in a better way in order to achieve better success. The realistic approach, applying Mary Parker Follett's philosophy, is that the way we lead is an important step in order to maintain respect, teamwork, and great work ethic in the workplace. Giving proper leadership is essential, and there will always be someone with great ideas to build from. But do not forget past failures. For example, Apple Inc. created one of the first laptops called the Apple Macintosh Portable in 1989. The design was a great idea, however, it required several years for great minds to learn of its failures and improve on them. Apple Inc. uses this concept daily to move forward, innovate, and build upon dreams, not just ideas, and they have succeeded in creating daily used items such as the tablet and continue to improve on these items. So the tablet was a great concept. You can research that. Basically, Steve Jobs had the tablet idea a long time ago, before the iPhone or the iPod. There's some interviews with him where he explains that that was his first idea, was the tablet. And now you're seeing them in restaurants and doctors' offices and pretty much everywhere you go. It's improving time, quality of life, and everything. But these ideas wouldn't have come if they didn't improve on them, such as the laptop. Now we have laptops that'll last 18 hours on battery. Before that other one was pretty much just a brick. And I'd also like to touch on this quote that without change there is no innovation, creativity, or incentive for improvement. Those who initiate change will have a better opportunity to manage the change that is inevitable. That's just going along the lines of change is inevitable, and we need to trust our workers, like Mary Parker Follett had said in her article about embracing our workmen. And most of our progress comes from our workmen, but it comes in a legitimate way. And that's a great quote because it's true. It's not just us as managers that need to focus on these things. We need to be great team leaders because that's basically what we do. Within the organization or in daily life, if you get in the habit of being able to communicate effectively and teach people and teach them why, it's more effective than just giving orders and demanding things that might come from a higher up, or people might just ignore because they think you're just telling them what to do. But this is my presentation. I have a bibliography here of where I got my information from, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.